Yeah, yes.
What's that painting you created that was titled Sagittarius intersecting Aries?
Yeah, yeah.
What is the title of that painting?
It's Sagittarius wars with their Aries, or Mythos intersects Theos, or the secondary title is, Sagittarius wars with Aries, but it could have been Taurus, it could have been Capricorn, any of the.
I thought it was verses. I thought it was like a verse.
Yeah, well, my sign is I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign, so that got me paranoid too. That you're going to war against me.
Oh, well, and it's a mirror of me with my own devil, because I'm also a satyr with their own horns in terms of mythic things. But yeah, even that, that's the thing is, if I can extract my own mythos, don't get me wrong, it took a while, and you're just tapping into certain symbols in paintings, which is cool. Because there's other artists that stuff,
but I'm not all into the astrology shit.
Well, I know. I was just going to say there's other artist symbols and paintings that wrecked me, like paranoia. Like they moved me so harshly through their hell, adding me as an element, that it was harsh. It was really, really harsh. But this is the effect of the artist, right? It's the power of one's expression in music, in visual, and in all sorts of formations. So,
right. So the bottom line, the word is imagination.
Comes with the territory. And she, good old Canada here, she puts it outside of her. She paints her walls.
Right, because holy shit, if you don't keep it simple, I don't do my expressions for anyone else but myself, man. I paint on my own shit. I don't never sold a painting, never sold shit. I'm not here for sale. I'm not for sale. I'm for real. And the way that you talk about what you're trying to do sounds like you're also a real imagination. And I don't want you to ever feel scared, man. Break every boundary around you. Go for it. What do you got to lose? What? Are you worried about what somebody thinks of you? Who cares?
As Michael mentioned to you about my art and.
No, I know nothing about you, honey, till right now.
Well, I've shared your Shakespearean clown jumps off a roof rap with her.
You did do that.
Yeah, like she's heard some of your things. She hasn't pulled all together everything. Because I know a lot of variety.
I just watched the rap. I just less than an hour ago. I just watched it.
No. He's got a very specific rap.
Oh. Okay, well then link me. Send me in. Let me take a look at it. I'm good.
Hang on.
No, I like all these triangles that you're making. Keep doing it, Mike. It's good.
Well,
although I'm not Spotify, used to it.
But I normally had gotten the link from. I think you linked it to me initially through Facebook, right? Asa, I believe so.
ASA?
Yeah.
Is that how it's spelled? Aspirin?
Yep.
So you're like an anti-inflammatory. What you just go by ASA. My real name's Angela, just so you know. But everybody on YouTube and on the net calls me Faith or Grace.
Oh, I think you're
but my real name is Angela.
I think the conversation failed. I don't think he's with us anymore.
Oh,
but because of that, let me see if I can pull up what his. Oh, here he is again. Whoa, hang on.
Hey, Asa.
Oh, hang on. All right.
Hey, Asa.
Or now you're on speakerphone. I was trying to find your.
Welcome back.
Your link here.
Yeah, Mike's just sending me your link so I could take a look at some stuff.
Trying to find the Shakespearean clown link. Thinking I just said, "Oh, didn't you send that to me on Facebook?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you must have." But oh shit, it's not it. Huh, it only lets me go back to the beginning of this year. It won't even show me the history of our conversations before the beginning of this year. Facebook is...
That's because Zuckerberg is data mining us all. Stop telling Zuckerberg shit.
Well, what I'm saying is that the links, I can't scroll up and to find the links on... I wonder if that's
It's because Zuckerberg has them in a secret file where no one can get them.
Well, anyway, it's still on Spotify, right? It's Spotify. Or was it SoundCloud? Spotify. No. Gotta be...
No, don't show her the recordings, man.
You can show me whatever you want, Asa. Like, it's okay. I'm not going through your stuff and analyzing you. That's the last thing I want you to think I'm doing right now. So Mike saying he's sending me links of your stuff is like, don't even put that in your head. It's just because he wants me to know who you are. I'm not gonna go through your shit and analyze it.
Well, and here's the other thing. Here's the haunt, or the old haunt, was that Angela was actually the head controller of the universe, right? She's
right. So it's all my fault.
Controlling many aspects of...
I'm 45 years old, Asa. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, you're right at prime, man. Like, you've got to go for it. If you don't do this, I'm so sorry your father didn't tell you this himself, but like, you need to be proud of yourself. Do it. Nothing, no harm's going to come to you from expressing yourself.
I kind of got derailed at an early age, my youthfulness, because I had a lot of tragedies occur in my life out of my control, and emotional issues, and a lot of isolation and difficulties. And I'm just trying.
Wow, how beautiful, how beautiful. Don't you realize how beautiful of a diamond you are? Like, that's why you went through all that rough. That's why you were that dirt. Truly, you're a bright light. Like, wake up. What are you thinking? I'm coming from a coma. I just lost my mother less than a year ago. Like, no, you've got to pull up your socks right now. You're 27. It doesn't get any easier from here, buddy. You got to do it now. I stand up.
I agree with that.
You're honestly very, very aware of what you're doing. You're on target. You got it. Take the shot. Aim high and then aim higher.
That's her assessment, because she doesn't have. Oftentimes, she can't give advice to anyone. No one listens to it anyway. So,
you know, Mike, the last person I'm giving advice to is you clown. How do you find these beautiful people? How do you find this 27-year-old? He's gonna make you into a movie. Like, geez, Louise, can you be a little bit more complacent?
Well, you know how I am.
Well, just because you're older, he's looking for your approval. He only went over how many father reasons in one sentence.
Well,
like, be a brother, you know. Give the guy a hand out. Like, that's bullshit, and you know it is.
Well, we already have a dialogue history, so we've already covered a lot of stuff that you're not aware of, Angela. So
yeah, right. I can obviously tell you've been talking about Canada.
Well, as if
and he doesn't realize it's really me.
That's right. It's really you.
No, it's really me. But you know what? You guys are like really. Art is a very difficult place. You know who would be great in this conversation? You know who would be great for him to hear feedback from is Piro.
Man, I tell you, I cannot
because
find
Piro
it on
isn't
SoundCloud.
the artsy
I don't even know what I'm looking for on SoundCloud now, and there's no history on Facebook. So you know,
why are you trying to go back in the past? You're looking for something that doesn't matter now.
Well, it's his recordings, and I don't actually even.
Yeah, I know, but like we're not analyzing him. We're accepting him for who he is right now, as is. Who gives a shit about the past? That's where I am. I don't care what he's published prior to this.
Do with what I'm doing. Anyway,
I don't need to know what he looks like. I don't need to see something he's already done. I'm dealing with who we are now.
Okay, fine. Well, Asa, you should email me your data
but this is what I mean. Like, you know how you're doing this with me? Oh, yeah. It'd be really cool if you did this with Piro and Asa, because it's a guy thing. like I'm just an asshole with a vagina. Like I'm a woman. Like, you know.
Well, you are.
This is more of a guy thing.
I think in the beginning of October, I kind of been developing these panic attacks. So for the last several months, I've been having these attacks come over me at work, driving, and sometimes I call up Spook when I'm having these panic attacks.
Yeah, I can't like, even you saying the P word, even you saying the word brings it up in my throat. But like, let's just not go there anymore. It's one of the scariest places I've ever been, and it just started happening to me. And I moved to a condo where I thought was a safe place. And last night, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I swear there was not enough air on the planet for me. I was freaking the fuck out.
And she smokes weed and you don't, and so the whole weed argument doesn't.
Oh no, the panic attacks are very real, and I think I need, like, if there's anyone I'm gonna call in the middle of a panic attack, I call Mike. Like, I'm gonna call my friend who knows where I actually am, not someone who's gonna tell me what to fucking do.
Well, there, I calmed her down for one moment because I thought I heard a voice in the background there.
That's okay. Sorry.
On his end.
But yeah, Mike is someone I would call in the middle of a panic attack. Not like I don't deal with my own reality. Like, panic attacks are real. Like, that's real. And if you're having those, I don't even know what to tell you, because thanks for telling me, but that's, I guess, the first step is telling people you're having panic attacks. I don't know. This is the first time I've talked about it. Like, I'm embarrassed about it. If I tell someone I had a panic attack, like, yes, I'm embarrassed.
How do yours come over you, he asks.
Oh, no. I feel like exploding. That's what it feels like. It feels like exploding. Like, there's not enough air and I'm going to die.
Yeah, well, but when it comes on, like, what sets them off, though? Yeah, what sets them off?
Like, just the thought. I can, like, that's what I meant to try to interrupt you. Even the word, the P word, even that word, I'm blocking out every time you say it. And you're telling me about your experiences. I'm blocking it out so that it doesn't happen to me. If I sit and I meditate on that P word, it'll happen. Like, I can make it happen. It's the way. There's nowhere off of this planet, okay? There's nowhere out. There's no way out of the figure 8. There's no way out of the circle. I've studied everything in Buddhism. I've gone Mahayana. I've done everything I can since I woke up from the coma. There is no way out.
No, it's at the South Pole. I'm determined that there's a way out, and it's at the South Pole.
Oh, okay. See, the minute that I believe that there is a way out, that's the day I commit suicide. That's what will happen. So that is what the panic is about. I'm not ready to face my own demise. I've already faced it once in the coma. I know everyone's got to face this. I know it's the only game going on is my way out. I want to be ready for it. But you know what? There's no way to prepare for it. You're never really ready.
Well,
so I'm a freak all the time. I'm a freak all the time because I know it's coming. I know it follows me. The coma follows me, Mike. You know it. And sometimes I choose to sit in the awareness of it, and that's a panic attack.
All right. Everyone deals with their own approach to death and the idea of resetting.
Not everyone deals with a coma. I know that it's there. It is real, Mike.
No, you don't have to tell me.
It's not a joke.
Real.
It's not like jumping off the roof of the fucking building. You did that on purpose.
I did it with a purpose. I didn't do it.
No, it's two different stories. If this young man was to tell two different stories, we are two different kinds of death.
Go on. I'll let you about it.
What I'm saying is I did not choose mine. You chose yours.
You can say that.
Fine. Well, there's not some almighty that said, oh, Michael's going to choose when to die and Angela gets to get it smashed in the face with a shovel. There's no way somebody made that choice. It's all bullshit. What I'm saying is life is short. Don't waste your time with people, and be as real as you can, like at the time. Like everything changes. Everything's temporal. Nothing is permanent. Unless it's a fossil, which I wear on my middle finger. And I grew up in Dinosaur Park. It's not like I don't know.
Well, for me, what's helped me deal with the P word is the repetition, the occurrences, how often these episodes occur, and I recognize the symptoms, but it would probably, it's easier for me to cope with it, because usually it starts with difficulty swallowing, and then my neck gets tense, and then my arms start tingling, and that's what sets it off. You know?
Asa, just for example, like, because I'm like a good 10 years ahead of you, like in the sense of age and stuff, I recently, like, I have a lot of pain that, like, seriously, like, we don't need to talk about it, but anyway, I've purchased that Dr. Ho. It's that it's like these electrical pads you put on your body, and you have the controller, and it just gives electrical impulses on, like, my pain is usually between my shoulders, but that pain will get so bad, like, yeah, I don't know, like, you'll end up on opiates. Like, you don't want to end up in so much pain that you're having to take a pill to make it go away.
Well, he's not in pain. He's not in.
No, what he's talking about is the tension. The tension that's happening to him right now is what I would look back at myself 10 years ago. I'd say that's the start of my pain. My pain started in my neck. My pain started when I couldn't express myself. My pain, like, seriously, Mike, I've had a real difficult 20 years since waking up, and all the pressure from society, the pressure from everything really, really, really brought a lot of pain where it's really uncomfortable. And nobody deserves to be like that. And who are you? You know physical pain more than anyone. Like, meditation or relax. I don't really do good at meditation or yoga. Like, I'm not someone that wants to sit and think about death all the time. So I don't like meditation or yoga or anything like that. I like frequency sounds. That keeps me calm when I listen to frequency sounds. 417, F417 is my YouTube channel, which is frequency 417, which is the sound of, the Roman Catholic Church. It's the sound of the choir. There's reasons that frequency can kill all of that, and just keep yourself in a separate space the best you can.
See, I recommend Young MC
don't isolate
and Will
yourself,
Smith.
but I've done nothing but isolate myself for 20 years, and where has it got me, Mike? It's got me full of a house, full of my own fucking shit, like nowhere, Mike.
Yeah.
It's not good for an artist to ever isolate. It's not.
And so, Asa, here's an object lesson, right? Because I see personalities like or like Amendum, because he's aware of Amendum too, right? And they pull into isolation, and they do not allow to connect. And if they do connect with other individuals and start developing friendships, immediately there's got to be some volatile disruption or some sort of huge break and
we'll
breaks
sabotage
and
I'd sabotage the fuck out of it right away.
That's what she's saying. I sabotage the fuck out of her friend. And so with you, being you're younger, but you still have that introverted
He's
manner
not that much younger.
right
He's
now.
27.
Well, hang on. I'm just saying part of the exercise of the engagement, and to allow you to see how it is I was doing with the woman in the coffee shop, or take your hands out of your pockets, interact, that type of thing, is a practice and an exercise in not becoming one of these isolated individuals that are ricocheting horrors in their minds, essentially.
Right, which should be another reason why you check on Piero once in a while. I bet you he's someone that does that all the time.
Well, he's got a
Isolates
wife at
and like
least.
becomes some kind of wizard. Like, he thinks his isolation time gives him more education or something. That can't be true.
But he's at least has a wife and a daughter and
oh, you know what?
he's
That is
active.
all just bells and whistles. Thank you very much.
No, it's hardly bells and whistles.
Michael,
No,
that's because it's all you want. You want his bells and whistles. And I aren't really looking for bells and whistles.
Well, you're not going to speak for him, right?
No, I'm. What I'm saying is, how are you speaking for everybody in the group and saying like everybody wants a family and children and a husband? I don't
say that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you with your friend Selena, you cut her off. You got into drama. You sabotage it. You bring it in. You bring it out.
Jake and you with your great parents. You just said about isolation. All I'm saying is the reason I love so much that we've been creating these triangles with Piero is I just love it so much. If you didn't notice,
she has a mental connection, like a psychic connection with Piero.
Oh, it is. I so love it so much, and I so love Asa. It's like an aspirin. You just gave me an aspirin. That's great. Love it.
Yeah, now just use the word panic again a few times, Asa.
No, you know what you can do, you little punk.
Yeah.
Stop muting me.
I'm not muting you. You're still going.
Yeah, well, if you think it's antagonistic to give, to poke at me, then I'll poke back. And I know how to hurt you too, so don't be funny.
Yeah, she is. See how threatening she is.
Yeah, see how mean you can be? You're not mean at all, Mike. But, no, the P word isn't a joke. Like, we just told you that. Like, we're pretty serious about that. You might enjoy it. You probably would be one to wear a T-shirt with a capital P on it. We'll give you a number because you like that kind of stuff. Like, you're on the edge all the time. You never stop. That's why we want to make a play about you. I think that's a good idea. And if I was to pick a murderer, sure, it'd be a good story.
I mean, if someone had to be killed, I would have.
No, I think I'm like, what is this play about? Like, again, you're playing a character that should be a story I already know, or this is a new story.
No. Well, I couldn't reiterate the whole story to you. It's got too many turns and elements.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking to you. Asa, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what is this? What is the play about? Can you tell me?
Since you won't shut your gall up and stick an orange in it, you can't get an word in edgewise. Okay, I'm just fucking kidding. Okay, go ahead, Asa. You say what you want to say. You can give a synopsis. Here, let me start recording.
Don't record this.
Well, then,
are we recording? No, don't record. Fuck, we're not comfortable.
All right.
What the fuck, Mike?
Hang on. Let's stop this recording.
Don't fucking record.
All right, let's stop.
Don't record till after we're done.
Record after we're done.
Well, record and then call Piero. See if Piero will answer us maybe in 5 minutes. Let your friend tell me the story, though.
Well, if it does, it'll be private.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's stay private. Like, fuck.
Okay.
Everyone out there is assholes anyway.
Okay, go.
the psychic told her to build a house to appease all the spirits that were lost to the Winchester rifle. So she built this house, and it ended up being this monstrosity, 7 stories. And the 1906 earthquake kind of demolished it. So the house collapsed during the 1906 earthquake, and she rebuilt the house. And the house that she rebuilt was an architectural oddity with doors, like a M.C. Escher painting, like doors opening into a 2nd-story drop, and weird architectural designs. And in the main ballroom of the house are these 2 Shakespearean windows. It's kind of a feature. The first window is from the play Troilus and Cressida, which reads, "Why unclasp the tables of his thoughts?" And the second window is from the play Richard II, which reads, "These same thoughts people this little world." So with these 2 windows, I create a story which I will overlay over the mythology of the house. So the whole story centers around the 2 Winchester, loosely centers around the 2 windows of in the main ballroom of the house. So the story that I create is loosely based. Well,
And if you wanted, he can continue the story at some point. I'm sure.
Yes,
the
yes, because I
story
will be
isn't
quiet
going to
as
be
of right
covering
now.
your life, like you're assuming. But okay, if you'd like.
Am I making her uncomfortable?
No. You're making me feel normal. Go ahead. I want to hear the rest of the story. Mike's just making fun of me that I never stop talking.
Well, basically I create the story from the two windows that are centered in the main barn of the house. And my story is completely separate from the mythology of the house. It has nothing to do with Sir Winchester, but I'm utilizing the Winchester house itself and the Winchester rifle, the motif of the rifle,
the actor that you are.
I don't want to abandon the project.
Oh no, Michael is an actor. Please tell him what to do more often. Like, get in there, get your hands dirty. Like, Michael is safe. You can get down and dirty with this guy. You're not going to do nothing to you. Like, he wants to act. That's what he wants to do. He's a puppet. He likes it.
Well, he's not offering me a position as an actor in the play. I'm simply encouraging him to write the screenplay.
Michael, he just told you that he is looking at you as a character that kills him. This is how the conversation started.
I know, but Angela, you're doing more talking than listening. Just telling you, if you want to hear more, he's right here. It's not going to last forever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, lady? You know what I mean? Okay.
Okay,
I'm sure
I'll
he
take an aspirin.
appreciates the feedback. Or, okay. Anyway, just, exhale. Okay. Anyway, good. I'll let one of you go ahead from there. Should I flip a coin? I think. No, go ahead, Asa. We'll continue from
You
there.
want me to finish describing my story or what?
Well, she's eating it up, so and it's a rarity that she's quiet, so yeah, I'd say go ahead and take advantage of it, sure. But let me see, maybe she. Oh yeah, she's there.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going, Asa. I just gave Mike the finger. Sorry, you can't see it.
Continue, or do you want me to stop talking about it?
No, continue. Like, just continue. Like, you're good.
Well, the main character, he's lost a
in Wonderland. Tom Petty didn't die of like old age or a heart attack or anything. He died of an opiate overdose. He accidentally took too many painkillers and killed himself by accident. And that I just read about 4 hours before I met you. So I love everything Alice in Wonderland. In my house, in this house that I am rebuilding, which is on Laval, I still haven't asked you why you recognize the name Laval.
But it's the Barn Sessions, and it's 2014.
Mike, are you so bored with our conversation that you've got to go to YouTube?
No. But I did
like, are you so bored with your fucking room
you don't
that you're gonna be the asshole at the dinner table that is like taking a phone call?
Shakespeare wrote The Tempest, and that was Kate Tempest, right? I was trying to add
well
to
then,
it.
You know, excuse yourself.
I did. I'm not nervous about your fucking coming down on my ass about
it's because I've had 2 glasses of wine and I'm really enjoying the company this evening. You really made a nice table. I appreciate
now
the
she'll
Donna.
hunt you down and try to get in your head and try to eat you.
No, I like that you interact with people like Asa, because a lot of times, Mike, you present yourself a little bit differently than you are.
Because I'm a badass.
No, it's not because you're a badass. It's because you're a fucking asshole. You're an asshole clown. And that's what I like, being in the same room with someone like Asa that called you out too. Like, no, he called you out too. He's not sure he wants to be friends with you. I'll tell you right now why everybody should be scared of being friends with you. Seriously, Mike, it's hard.
Is it hard? Is it hard being
Well,
friends
Michael,
with me?
I love you, but it's because, like, seriously, we've been through so much, Mike. That's why we're always going to be together, no matter what we do. And we hate it. I hate it, Mike. You can laugh at it as much as you want. But the reason that we are connected is because we both went to hell. You chose it. I didn't. I know you inside and out. I love you unconditionally, Michael. You know that. So stop it.
Back to the story.
Right, but that's what I mean about Asa, and that's what I mean about Piero.
Well,
that's what I mean about even
Kate
Amanda.
Tempest, Shakespeare and Tempest.
Yeah, but Piero would love this story. I bet you Piero, because he represents 314, which is a full circle. It, like, to me, what the Shakespearean story would turn into is a circle. Like, you just keep coming back.
Well, Don Suk. Oh, by the way, Canada, they're making a movie about the Winchester House, and it's coming out in February. The same. So the screenplay that I'm writing that is centered around this house, they're making a movie, and it's coming out in a few days about the life and death of Sarah Winchester. They're kind of turning it into a kind of one of those really badly made horror movies. From the trailer that I saw, it looks really bad.
Yeah, so let's not get popcorn. I'll pay for your ticket.
The woman who's playing Sarah Winchester, Helen Mirren, I think. Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
She played in a movie, the Shakespearean adaptation. She played in The Tempest, the movie adaptation.
Yeah. That's what Mike was just looking up. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not what I was looking up.
She played the character Prospero in The Tempest, and she's playing Sarah Winchester in this movie that's coming out, titled Winchester.
Yes.
What do you think about that name, Winchester, Mike? Does that like get you somehow? Like, it does get me a bit, because it's like something that it's like maple syrup. It reminds me. I've been watching on Netflix, the Archie comic Riverdale.
Yeah, but what is
it's like this fucking Winchester? Well, because I'm 14 years old in my own head, right? So I'm watching Riverdale. I'm watching Archie comics, and it's all about this family's last name because they make maple syrup.
Well, but
like, it's all about the name. Like Winchester. Like, does that mean Scotch rye bread Like, what does Winchester stand for? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, if you
it's going to be something that, like, how does the younger generation understand what Winchester is?
Well, they know the gun, and
like, do they think it's a gun?
MASH had Winchester in it. Sergeant Major Winchester is a
no,
surgeon.
when you say
You're
Winchester,
like, no, not that.
I'm just from the 70s.
No.
I'm saying when you say Winchester, I think gun.
Yeah. Right, and he thinks
like I think guns.
And he hung up.
Well, he thinks you're going to kill him because you scare him so much with your weirdness.
Well, I don't know. Oh, wait, he's calling back. Here, more.
Well, you should stop scaring your friends.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hello. I was just telling Mike he should stop scaring his friends and you stop hanging up.
I made it sound like you purposely hung up because she wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Stop it, Mike. Jerk.
You want me to tell you more about the story, Canada? Yeah.
Of course. Canada always wants to hear anything but Mike.
Right.
Yeah, but so while this kind of
Well, you know, you can speak for you. I don't know if that's why other people love me or if they love me, but whatever. Back to the story.
Do you think this story has promise? Canada?
What?
Do you think this?
Go ahead,
story
ASA.
that I'm working on? Do you think the story that I'm working on holds any promise, potential?
I'm telling you, you might be the next like serious filmmaker, man. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. I'll do anything I can to help you. If there's, you know, like you got a solid mind. Like you got your shit together. You can do it, and you're 27. Go, 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 go.
You think I'm still, you know, part of the reason that you think I'm still lofty and youthful, you know?
Oh,
it's not too late.
for fuck's sakes, man. You are a fucking star. Okay, drop it right now and go. Like, you're wasting your time talking to me. Like, you got your shit together. Like, why are you looking for feedback?
Well, it's not entirely together.
Oh, come on, Michael.
No.
Like, fuck, were you that together at 27? No fucking way.
No, I was together. But my point
No,
is,
he's got his shit together. This young man.
his mind is together as far
This
as the
young man
production.
should-
The production is
No,
together.
you know what? I'm gonna call him end him right now. You guys want to fuck around?
Fine, get him on the phone right now.
Like-
Just call him right now.
No, what I'm saying
Go on,
is
do it.
Piro
Go on.
and Amanda would think that this guy's tale is good to go. A Shakespearean flip ass,
Just call
and it's
Gary.
you
Just
know.
call him.
No, it's gonna hit every age group. It's gonna hit my mom. It's gonna hit my dad. It's gonna hit my grandma. It's gonna hit the grandkids. It's gonna hit everybody.
Call him.
I don't want to be put on the spot right now.
You're not on the
Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. And I don't want to call him end him and like make an ass of myself. I only call him when I need to.
Well, okay then.
Why don't you call Piro? Why don't you call Piro and say, "Hey, Piro"? And like, you know, Piro's name is Craig Allen.
Hey, no talking.
Yes. Like, and again, you're making wedding sandwiches. I'm gonna puke.
See what I got to deal
Like
with,
this-
Lisa?
This guy, every time I talk to him, he like goes on video with me and makes fucking Alfredo sandwiches. Like he just takes Alfredo sauce out of a package and puts it on bread, and like that's his sandwich. It's like I do not want to spook cooking for me, but it looks like he's making spaghetti.
I already have a video of me talking about my story, the dog spook.
Well, how come, like, aren't you on YouTube with us? Like, who are you on YouTube? Like, why aren't we all connected?
Because he doesn't want you getting in his brain and fucking trying to.
Shut up, Mike.
I don't upload videos. So I watched Spook's videos, and I connected with him because I discovered Gary's videos. Amendum.
Okay, so okay, stop.
Telling a story while you interrupt.
Okay, Michael, I'm asking questions. I don't need your help. So you met the Spooks through Amendum?
Yeah, I discovered Amendum's videos like 6 years ago. And
okay, so go from there. Like, tell me about what's happened.
He's trying to. If you shut up.
You met Amendum.
I discovered Amendum 5-6 years ago. His videos.
How is your life? How has your life changed since you've met Amendum?
Well, okay, so I was when I discovered Amendum, I was still really young and naive and still kind of, I was really gullible. So when I discovered Amendum, he seemed like somebody who, quote unquote, knew what the truth was, and he seemed really intelligent and well spoken, and he was like he seemed like he was the only guy on YouTube doing philosophy. So, and I was still in an impressionable mind, so he kind of influenced me in a negative way. That's how I discovered Amendum. Watching his videos.
And then somehow he found me.
Yeah, I did. I found you. When he was, I found you, Doc Spook, when Mendon was making his painting videos. He was doing his painting videos, and then he had your channel in a link or something.
Yep.
Oh, it's all like Zomgits days. Yes, like listen to the program when Gary was in love with Zomgits, which he still is. Yeah, he was painting. There was a point of Gary Amendum painting. I know exactly where you are.
Gary doing a self-portrait of himself.
Him and Zomgits are still friends, just so you know. They're still good. Like
he hasn't registered whether he knows who Zomgits is or not.
Oh, who the fuck doesn't know who Zomgits is?
Yeah, dude, that's blonde girl.
Oh, she's absolutely gorgeous, don't you think? Like, just absolutely beautiful woman. But I think she's doing well. I don't see her producing much, but her friendship with Amendum was always solid. Like that was, and she always treated me like very well.
You met her in person?
Oh, no, I never met her in person, only that she thought about possibly coming to Canada, and I wanted, like Diana Boston lives in Vancouver. I live in Alberta. I offered my house. I have room for someone to stay if they're going to come from YouTube. It just wasn't so popular. Like when Just Spooks showed up on my doorstep, I wasn't prepared for that. But now I would be, like, now it's more, the YouTube gathering, especially talking recently with Piro. Like there's reasons that some of us want to meet, and there's nothing weird about that. And yeah, see, Mike and I earlier were listening to Panama by Van Halen. Like we were freaking about Panama.
Because
like we're all gonna meet in Panama.
Do a meetup
So,
if I go out of the
country. Like let's all meet up in Panama and like let's just hang out in Panama. Like we just thought it was funny, but maybe not everybody wants to go to Panama. But you might, if someone pays for the flight, you'd show up, wouldn't you?
Well, if I could get over my little anxiety disorder.
Well, no. See, I have the same thing. Like, fuck, I swear. There's a reason I asked you if you were born in September. I feel like we're the same, and it's not true. But like, I fucking can barely leave my house. Like, I am a freak. Like, my name is Angela, but like, I can be whatever I can be in a corner. But oh fuck, like, I have such a hard time with shit.
Yup.
And shut up. And I become so isolated that, like, this is why this kind of stuff is important to me, is that if I got through to just you, that's my only purpose in the fucking world, is to let other cornered people know that the corner is just a corner, man. You can go out of that and go back to your corner later. Like, but at least get out of the corner. Like, if you don't, it's like, fuck. Yesterday was so hard for me. My fucking asshole sister called the cops on me because I wouldn't fucking, like, I wasn't where, like, my fucking, like, fuck. You know, just because I don't, you know, like, fuck off. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. Or if I do something that doesn't seem like something they do, like, I don't care. You don't call the cops. Like, that's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But what, didn't the cops come by today? How did that go?
Mike, the cops have been around all the time. And you know what the cops tell my parents and told my it's fine. So can you please stop wasting our time? Like, really, they have other things to do. Elizabeth called the cops because she went to my house and I wasn't there. I was at the coffee shop getting a coffee. By the time I got home, I had 6 cop cars in my driveway. And the cop said, your sister called because she didn't know where you were. Oh, well, I went and got coffee.
See,
Like, I'm less than 100 feet away. I'm less than half a kilometer away from my house getting coffee, and my sister calls the cops. That's retarded.
Hey.
Can we please not do paperwork for that?
Yeah.
Well, Michael, I'm sure that people have, like, your brother sometimes does stuff like that to you too. Does things like, I think Michael drank too many beer, which you just opened another beer, Mike.
Maybe. I got here with the dog issues.
I know, but what meds did you take, honey? Like, what meds did you take?
Well, honey, I took a spinach and a wheat and some egg medicine tonight. And
you are such a liar to me.
Making some spaghetti medicine right now.
You're such a... Okay, no, I love the spaghetti. I'm definitely watching you make yourself spaghetti, and I want to see you eat. But, Michael, you're so mean to yourself.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm mean to myself. And nevertheless,
no, you don't take good care of yourself. Like, don't hang up on the phone because I said that.
That's true.
You don't.
Yeah, the reason I called you is because I was afraid, but I feel a little better now. Because that's my paranoia. When I speak about my paranoia, it seems like it's actually gonna. Yeah,
he said, like, if we were there with Michael right now, like, are you not joking? We wouldn't brush his hair, first of all. Second of all, we would make the fucking spaghetti and tell him to, like, sit down and relax. Like, he's a great person.
I'm hardly the most paranoid one of the trio right now. I believe you two are by far more paranoid this evening than I am.
What doesn't matter? We don't care.
Well, you think I'm the most paranoid out of the group?
Well, it's debatable between you and her tonight, but I would say
No,
probably
you
you.
know
right
what?
now,
You're
yeah.
the most paranoid, Michael. That's what you just showed. You're projecting your own faults on us, and you're the most paranoid. How about that?
Is that a fact? That is. Well, I'll drink to
It
that.
is true, Michael. You know, the reason why I know it's true is because you're cooking in front of us and you love us. And if we were in your house, you would want to cook for us. And you'd be like, oh, I love having friends. I love having people in my life that just like me for who I am.
Oh, really?
And you just have to accept it. You would just have to accept that we love you. And, you know, we're not scared of you.
Oh, well, one of us might be scared of me.
No, Michael, we're both not scared of you. What we are is aware of you. We love you, Michael. You're fine.
And you wouldn't, Michael, you wouldn't
You're
put any
doing great,
sulfuric acid in my spaghetti, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know if he makes good spaghetti. We're gonna have to check this shit out.
No, you wouldn't put any sulfuric acid in my spaghetti.
Well, I might, and only if I got to taste it first and make certain it tasted fine.
Oh well, I'm definitely making you taste it first because you might be killing me. Okay. Okay. Thinking Shakespearean, what is in that?
Well, this is Prego, sulfuric acid,
Oh.
and arsenic, red sauce.
Arsenic. Oh, so you're gonna try to kill me slowly, just like we said, killing me softly. You're trying to kill our friend Asa, and it's not gonna happen. I will save Asa. You cannot kill Asa. Is that your?
This is where
Is that
she
your-
white knights so she
Are you
can get
trying
in
to
your
kill
good
someone?
groove, Asa. So she can crawl you and
No.
crawl into your brain with their worms.
No. Shut the hell up. What does ASA mean, like, on the side of things? I see that ASA on the side of, like, salt things.
Just because I salted my spaghetti doesn't mean...
No, I'm trying to talk to ASA, not you.
Oh, well, here, let me get you guys snuggled up over here while I go back in and get my spaghetti and that.
Asa, could you push him over? Push him over like he's a... Like, push him over. Look at all that stuff. Like, he could show us his art forever.
Well, Ace has got quite a portfolio going, too. Oh, yeah. I have to move into sound design like he is.
Shave the back of your hair a little bit more. It's not, like, you know what I mean?
Okay, there you guys are. I'll be back in a minute.
I would just, it'd be nice. I would like to clean up the back of your hairdo. Like, just shave the back.
Whose hair?
Oh, it's just me. Michael's hair. Like, you know, like I like that he dyed it blonde again. So he's got all the color there. It's just like, I want the back shaved up a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I could shave the whole back so that his front flop is just a front flop, but the back should be shaved really clean and like Clinique.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now, and then you guys can talk for
Oh,
you.
you
so shy that I decided to sit in the corner, and I was sitting under my great grandmother's chinaware. So above me were these shelves of her china and her like my grandfather's mother's collection of old silverware and china things, and I was sitting under there because I was so afraid and shy. And I got up, I moved my head up, and I bumped the shelf, and everything collapsed, and I broke all my great grandmother's chinaware. And my dad, he yelled at me, and he was really furious, and I was crying.
Has lost his brother. Shut up.
Anyway.
Well, that's, I guess, part of the reason you asked, like, why are you drawn to the Winchester house? And it's the theme, the main themes that I'm exploring is...
You know what? I guessed it was your dad. It's not. It's your brother. Why did your brother kill himself?
Then it was a train wreck, not a train wreck, a car wreck.
Well, come on.
My
You
brother
don't
was
get
hit.
Perhaps.
Somebody tell me the truth, please.
Well, it's
How
not
did
my
die?
brother, there's...
What
Are
is
you
the
talking
brother's
about
name?
Walter?
How did he die?
My brother was hit by a car late at night, walking down the road. Walking down a
to kill him.
No,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna kill anybody.
No, I know.
We're all
It's
friends.
just,
I
it's
know,
just
but
a
I
selfish,
want to make you out to be the killer. Now I want you to be the killer.
Right. Right. Well, you
Now
know.
you're the
It's
twisted
just,
fucking clown killer. You are a killer.
Well,
it's that self-righteous entitlement. Like, I could violate another sentient being because I am the center of the universe. Just because
Yeah,
I could read a new
exactly.
data set.
He thinks he can fucking clown off everything.
well, I thought that was part of my spiritual justification of the idea that, you know, if you had to kill someone, you want to do it for your own central reasons and so forth, I would imagine. So,
Oh my God, you're the perfect serial killer.
am I? Just because of the clowns, I'm like John Wayne
Probably.
Gacy now. It's like John Wayne Gacy, the serial killing clown.
If people like Asa and I fucking bought into you, we would believe you're a serial killer, but we know you're not. So, ha ha ha.
I know. Unfortunately, I
Ha,
can't
ha, ha.
even start the
Michael.
serial. I can't even kill anyone. If
Michael,
if I was in the
please
military,
don't even.
if I was in the military
It's
and
a
I killed
joke, Michael.
someone, then I
It was
could
a
be
joke.
a serial killer. Then I could then I'd be an
Michael,
assassin.
Michael, it's a joke.
Well, I know it's saying, but I like cereal.
No, what was? Okay, Michael. First of all, it's a joke. Second of all, I don't believe you're schizophrenic.
It's like it's when you get into that mindscape of, you know, when I listen to William Burroughs lectures and he's discussing consciousness is like a cut up. Anything you see in your perception is a cut up, and things speak to you. And even one of his students came up. One of the students who was at the lecture said, you know, that he was a devil and that he needed to be killed. You know, it's just like you could fall into that paranoia. It's really easily. Yeah. So one of his students thought he needed to be killed because, you know, he was the beast at 666.
Yeah, if anything, I think, you know, I might be the one that has to. People will be hunting me. You know, I'm the devil. That's the devil family. The devil failed family. You know. But I think that'd be a, you know, like a harsh.
I'm gonna get into the bathtub if you guys don't stop about getting killed.
Well,
like
right.
You're
okay.
talking about
well, you're gonna
getting
get in the
killed.
bathtub anyway. You get in the bathtub 5 times
Well,
a
no,
day.
I just want
you
to. I
guys
want to finish my
killed.
screenplay.
Well, yeah, he wants to finish his screenplay.
Killed.
Wait, did you? Because see, the thing is, Ange, is that he probably got through maybe 1/6 of maybe a portion of the screenplay with you, but he'll not be able to actually tell you the rest of it because you like to cut him off with, "Hey, what sibling are you?" or "Hey, in comes Sabrina," or "In come," you know. Meaning, he was trying to share. But,
you know what's funny, Mike, is
you.
sometimes you don't realize what an asshole you are.
Well, I am. No, that can be kind of assholey that I said it that way. I'm just letting you know. I'm just trying to give you information.
Hey, shut up.
So anyway, though, hey, so if you wanted to mention any more of your screenplay, you're more than welcome to pick it up from there, because I think she's like, you know, reeled herself back in, pulled her own chain back. Roof, down, boy, down.
Well, there's the
and say, this is bullshit. Just like he says everything's bullshit.
No, it's just, I don't want to be like a brunt of a joke. I don't want to think like I'm just a brunt of a joke. I don't want to be.
Oh, you're not. Oh my God, you're not.
Well,
like
he's afraid of men.
He's not.
Of shit. What a bunch of
Michael,
worthless
I won't
shit.
be part of.
Fantasy.
No.
I'm a man.
Okay, you know what?
Fantasy. Fuck that shit.
No fucking way. I'm not doing that. Come on.
Come on, man. Get down. Come on, man. Get down.
It's not his main priority. Let's just put it that way. He doesn't have time. He's on a warpath.
No. You know what's so not true? Like, for fuck's sakes, Asa, listen to me. Like, I lost my mother. Like, I was going through fucking insanity, okay? And I would call Amendum's phone. That fucker picked up every time. Every time. And I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to kill myself. When my mother went into the operation, I made a deal with, if my mother didn't make it to the Amendum is the reason I didn't commit suicide. My deal. Like, yeah. I was ready.
Oh.
Not that means Amendum's into
I
fantasy.
was ready to go. Amendum talked me out of it. You know what? Shut up, Mike.
What did Amendum
Shut up, Mike. Shut the fuck up, Mike.
That's
because you do it on purpose. Shut up, Mike.
That's Asa talking.
No, Amendum saved my life, so fuck off. And you knew that the whole time. Like, you knew that the whole time. This young man deserves to know what he has is worth my time. That's for sure. And that's the first time I've heard a young person say that, they know who they are. At 27, to know who you are, like, fuck, oh, wow. You can do anything. If you know who Greatex. Oh, I still have the hiccups. I want to contact Greatex. Is that your stomach? Are you
shitty
showing me your stomach?
No, that's my beaver. That's my clam.
Like, no, you're showing me something that seems strange. Is that a stomach?
This?
Your stomach.
You mean this?
No, touch your stomach.
You mean this?
I'm gonna hurt you. Stop it. No, I don't want to know you anymore. You're so crazy. Okay, can I? Oh, I hate the hiccups. I hate it.
She's not going to retain the story even if you told her, but she can still call Amendum, and then I'll definitely
Shut
hit the
up!
record
I'm
button.
not calling him. Is there?
That's good.
Yeah, I'd hit the record button if she
No,
called
you should talk
Amendum,
more.
and
Tell.
because you know.
Well, Amendum likes Amendum has he has his movies that he's very fond of. You know, like A Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life. He's kind of I heard him talk about that movie.
Oh
several
yeah,
times.
yeah. You're so right about that. It's a Wonderful Life. You're so right.
Let's slam it. What a dumb movie. It's a Wonderful Life. It's so George Bailey. Come on, George Bailey. Jack it back on the bridge.
That's Spook. Spook. Did you listen to that the conference between Benatar and Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
No. Just Spook doesn't listen to anything.
But I did listen to that. It was quite impressive. Yes, quite impressive. And I didn't think Benatar was very clinical like you perceived him to be. Cold and clinical. But on the contrary, I did perceive Peterson kind of like one technique in argumentation is to make certain that you ask a question and then you bulldoze forward with the answer.
You're so insecure.
Just the two of us now.
Stop it.
I'm here.
Wait, we were just having sex together in virtual.
No. Okay, Michael lies all the time.
How was the conference?
Yeah, he thinks we had sex. It's great.
The conference. You mean
How's the discourse
between the
Sex.
Benatar and Peterson?
Yeah.
Well, I was saying I didn't think Benatar was as cold and clinical as you thought he was. I was saying Peterson has a argumentative technique that he uses where he would, Benatar would state a position. He would then ask Benatar a question and then follow it up by bulldozing the conversation, like trying to reinforce Peterson's particular idea upon Benatar. And so, meaning to me, there was an ambivalence where both seemed to do pretty well. I did like how Peterson, he admitted, he said, well, I do believe you have the upper hand in this argument, right? And so in one way, he was using the technique of giving one's argument over entirely and then going back. But, well, he didn't quite phrase it that way. But I thought it was a healthy exchange. I wouldn't have approached the argument the way Peterson did, but I like that he did approach the argument, and then talk about backing it up step by step to find its the a priori premises and the removal of humanity and considering it dangerous and so forth. Basically,
do you disagree with that? Do you think Jordan Peterson was when he said that when he was discussing the Columbine killers and anybody who's kind of influenced by that could be influenced by that just the idea of bringing up genocidal and homicidal, just the idea of having the human race wiped out. I think it kind of
yeah, I mean that the array that comes along with
just because
yeah.
somebody it takes that stance doesn't mean they would act it out or want to. Like when he questioned him, well, if you saw somebody who was by themselves asleep, who was familyless, and then would you euthanize them? But then he also said, well, he was suicidal too. You know, he wanted to die. Would you do it? If he wanted to die, if he was suicidal and he had no family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I thought the comparison then, you know, made some good sense. Like why not? If the ethic is the erasure or the non-presence, but then Benatar backed it back up and said, well, the guy has an interest, and that's when he said, no, if the guy has an interest in dying, right? If he has an interest in dying and you can put him out of his misery when he's asleep, would you do it? And but the thing is Jordan Peterson he didn't allow Benatar to speak on it, but Benatar's reapproach was that no, it's, you know, like no, the argument is about coming into existence as opposed to being in existence, because then he said, yeah, you have an interest once you're in existence, but then Jordan Peterson,
you have it.
Yeah, so
and then he, you know, it's hard to go against the impulse of go against that impulse of once you're here, it's hard to, you want to maintain yourself, even if you are a lot of people dealing with suicidal tendencies and things like that. It's just once you're in this place, it's difficult to. There's this thing that you have to. It's just hard to take yourself out. It becomes a difficult thing.
Well, for some people it's hard, but yeah, it's I agree. Meaning that, you know, my as far as a critique of their argument, I thought that was, you know, a good angle and a good articulation against Benatar. It would have been reapproached by Gary or other antinatalists maybe a little bit differently, but and I did like Benatar kind of qualifying it as a theory in practice, and that he even said this could be abused by other people. Like if they took his philosophy, that there would be a way to malign it such that it wasn't, you know, that it was malicious and that it could have negative influence. And then I did think, of course, of Gary at that point, as far as, you know, somebody that not, I mean, Gary coming to the position prior to meeting Benatar, you know, he has carte blanche and however he wants to approach it. But as soon as they mingle ideas of the asymmetry in the argument, then Gary taking on what Benatar might think is a malicious framework towards life, right? Where Benatar isn't really taking on a malicious frame towards life. But I did like how Jordan Peterson, or the pushback was the identification of, you know, the value of life extends beyond merely one's limitation of the definition of that which is bad, and or that sufferability is not the totality to narrow one's value set to, basically, or well, maybe that's more of my argument, but Jordan Peterson said something not outside of that line. Yeah, like that it was reductive. But the one thing I did like about Jordan Peterson's argument in it was the whole, you know, step it back and look at, oh shit, how do you phrase it? I'm not actually clear on whether or not I can reiterate what the position was that I liked, but basically the idea of trying to take one's life after it is already the case, and then justify everything backwards to an a priori set of saying, hey, the facts don't bear out that people would want their life to not be the case, right? And so they were both, talking about people late in life. Like Jordan Peterson, I think, is saying, like, his daughter saying, like, oh, I would still, choose to have come and done this, almost to the point of that the idea of, if you believe in a soul or something passing, like the soul could choose to come to life, right? Like you could say, oh, I chose my parents, or something like that. Then you could say, well, then a soul could say to be traversing the universe and entering into a body, and in terms like, oh, the child chose to be born and chose to have this life and this experience, type of thing. Hence kind of a reincarnative approach. Like you could approach it that way, but that's why Gary.
That's what I utilize the clones. The clones of 50K as a form of reincarnation. When Gary always brings up the idea of being reincarnated, the concept of reincarnation, not the actuality, but thinking that there's another person who's going to be born who is similar to, psychologically similar to him. So bringing it like these clones of 50K serve as the function of reincarnation, and they're kind of, and how they're kind of, they're smuggled on board this ship against their will, and the ship, being this kind of like ship of society, or this bubble, this network of, of society, where the ideas and inventions and all this tribal things are happening at the Mecca. That's what the ship is kind of represents, and it's on this voyage into the unknown where it can go. And, they form, they're brought on board the ship against their will. And that's kind of used the character. That's kind of the
And I wanted to go to the other one, and you wanted to go to that one, and I was like,
you know what,
fine.
Michael? The reason
Just having a
is
symbol
because I
from-
don't care.
Now I know, because you wanted to put up a fight. Because you
No, I
secretly
just
love
want
Lestrange.
you to be you. I just want you to be you. I want you to be you. Just like I want to be me. Like, can you please stop fighting with me?
I want to be loved by you. By
Yeah, but you love
and
fighting with me.
nobody else but you. Boop, boop, be-doop.
Yeah, well, our third party, our friendship in a triangle, doesn't carry that. Like, we want this person to succeed. So can we put our energy there?
Well, we got sidetracked on the metaphor
such a
of the
baby.
story from the Jordan B. Peterson Benatar argument. First, back into the
You are a
antinatalism,
baby.
back into the show, back into the metaphor, back into the thing that we want to succeed. Yeah. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm thinking about it.
I'm gonna put you to bed right now, Michael. Go to sleep.
Oh, what kind of magic is that? That's hardly not.
That
working.
is fantastic magic. That is like, look at how relaxed you are. Look at how great everything is going. Just go to sleep.
Man, I didn't get any pain now, but maybe you're right.
Michael, you're not taking any pain medication. You don't need it. You're fine.
Well, you know.
Like, stop taking that pain medication. The painting looks fantastic.
I was just talking about the what do you call it? The alcohol pain. It's just kind of bringing on pain. I think I'm getting a headache behind my eye. My circulatory system is. I don't know. There's just something about that frothy beer.
Oh, right. Oh, now you're separated. Did you just separate us?
Separate you?
Did you separate ASA and I?
Yeah, back up. You back off, Asa. Back up. Back the fuck up. You're separated.
I'm right here.
Oh, did I do something?
Yeah, you drank 4 bottles of wine.
No, I didn't.
All right. So anyway.
Fine.
There she was, buns up and kneeling to save the day.
You're such a dork. Like, I don't have to do this shit. You know that, eh?
It's always choose your own adventure.
Like, do you want me to be Jim Carrey? Because I am the Canadian. So fuck you. I got it all. Like, believe me, I'm funnier than anyone. And I can do the Jim Carrey. Michael, you got nothing.
I can do a sidekick on Dumb and Dumber with my haircut.
No, you're like a little nasty. I might be dumber and dumber with you, so I can yell at you. I just want to yell at you.
It's because you want me to get into the spiritual
domain. No, I want to yell at you. First of all, I'm going to yell at you. You know what I'm going to yell about you? I'm going to yell, first of all, you got a fucking clown for a... That's the first thing I'm coming at you with. Is like, you got to be fucking joking.
Yeah, but come on, Trudeau's kind of like metrosexual.
Oh, fucking eat my
Trudeau,
shorts.
Trump, come on. Those two make love in the Oval Office.
Come on. There's no way that my Frenchie is touching your balls. No fucking way. We hate you guys.
Well, I know you hate us.
Like, we're sick and tired of the Americans embarrassing the fuck out of North America. Why don't you guys fucking realize, like, you know, Africa has been without food for a long time.
And so
like,
we want to
feed them.
Do you think
I care about your fucking food? But I don't. As a Canadian, I don't.
You don't care about shit as an individual Canadian.
No, I can't. Like, the most I can do is look at the UN and ask why they're not doing anything about Donald Trump. Like, he grabbed a woman's pussy. He fucking is made racist comments. I just don't understand how that's allowed. Sorry, but I don't want anything to do with your country.
Just boat shaking. Well, you didn't want anything to do with it
No,
before he
it's
got
not
elected.
the boat shaking.
You hate
Your
America
boat is
before-
sinking, buddy.
Before he got in office.
No,
hated
your
it.
boat is sinking, buddy. I'm here to watch it, and I'm glad to see you guys go down.
Well, I know. That's why I'm like, quick, everyone overboard.
You deserve it. You guys, as far as some people are concerned, are responsible for 9/11.
Well, that was
That
on our own
country.
country.
Like, no, you're a fucked up country. You do not have your shit together. Like, not at all. You can't even take care of the people on the street.
Well,
Like,
that's a
and
good
here
one.
in Canada, I'm not joking. Like, no fucking joke.
There are no
That's
homeless
what
people
we
in
do
Canada.
for a living. There's no, like, no.
They're all bubbles.
I live in
and-
I have no poverty. There's nobody on the street here.
No, I liked it up there. It was like Star Trek.
Are you recording, Don Spook?
Yeah, this part I am. Yep.
Yeah,
Is it
probably,
on
you
your
fucker.
channel?
Well, the Mike Fail channel. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Which channel? Are you gonna? Is your channel, Don Spook channel disabled?
Stream on it.
Well,
Because
Michael
of the
is
strike.
mentally disabled.
That's because I'm done.
So what happened, Don Spook? What happened?
You're
What-
fucking
what-
recording me without telling me first, little
Well,
fucker.
what happened was that
fuck off.
I recorded the stream of the computer reading my book on
Now, you record
contradiction,
everything just because you want to, like, because you're
and
such an asshole. You can't tell everybody before you record. You don't give anyone a warning. You don't say, "Oh, hey, we're on record."
no, I had my computer reading my book on contradiction, and then
What
it.
does that mean? I don't understand your computer reading.
Well, there's like a text to speech application, so I just highlighted the
Your
speech.
computer, the
Yeah.
automated voice was speaking your text out.
Yeah, I was
while
just
you were
reading it.
making a live stream.
Yeah, and I was just there
While you were
painting.
doing it.
And then Google shut it
yeah.
down. No one struck that. That was a Google thing. And well, maybe somebody hit the object button, and then that gave me the strike.
Nobody struck anything. I told you, both Edible Napalm and I got struck for the same thing for no reason. It's a fucking YouTube thing. It's nothing personal.
They're-
You made a mistake.
Well, they're just trying to weed out us lesser, us small channels. They don't want our ascending voices.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't want our bullshit.
No, I don't know. That's the grand overarching.
Like Logan Paul, you could he could film a dead body, and you could go to, and you can even put a thumbnail of the dead corpse, in his thumbnail.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, honey. Exactly.
Well, that's just YouTube getting drama, so more people come to their company, their platform, and they can sell them more shit and record more shit and be more of everything they want to be.
I know, but isn't that the point of us being different YouTubers of, like, bringing their shit to the table?
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that are real.
I'm muting.
It's not fair. I don't think it's fair that Logan Paul could film corpse and use it as a thumbnail, and it could get past all the YouTube kind of thing. And I don't know, what is it? It was up for
And then
several hours.
What, the Logan Paul thing? I don't know.
Well, it's not a big deal. It's just it's not fair because they don't implicate the rules. They don't. It's like they have a special treatment for the bigger channels.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's like super YouTube, and there's all these like super commenting, Like, oh, do you want to release super commenting on your channel? You have to have 1,000 subscribers, and then you'll get super commenting,
Yeah,
whatever
like
that is.
if you have enough subscribers, is where YouTube. I got dissed from I don't have enough subscribers, and I was like, I don't care.
Well, that's everything. I don't care. She doesn't care about it. Anything that doesn't work. She doesn't have to change a goddamn thing because she doesn't care. When she wants it, she wishes something would happen, but then otherwise, the default is, well, I don't care.
That's not true.
It's
What are you
kinda
talking
true.
about?
It's
I'm
kinda
talking
true.
about the
Why did you,
feedback
why
from
did you think you
the
got
YouTube
striked,
channel.
Luke?
Why do I think I got striked?
Yeah.
No, I
think
don't
the
give a shit.
algorithms read
Don't fucking
there you
talk
go.
about
There she
me
is saying she
directly.
doesn't give a shit again.
What I'm saying
She
is,
actually
you
gave a
don't
shit
know
about
what I go
something.
through directly.
I think it was the content of the book on contradiction, or maybe they didn't like the idea of a computer reading back to their
Michael,
computer, so it
fuck, I'm
automated
telling you,
something.
I've gotten, like, I deal with the same shit you guys are dealing with. You want to put me outside? That's fine. Like,
I'm not
whatever.
putting you outside. You just keep saying you don't give a shit, and that was my point. Is you don't give a
No,
shit.
I'm saying
If
I
you
don't
gave
give a shit about what other people think. I don't.
Well, except for when you
I don't
do.
give a shit about what you think.
Well, you do a
Diss
little
me,
bit.
then go ahead. I'm trying to function here in a triangle, not a vicious circle. You're not gonna get me on that anymore. I'm not fighting with you anymore.
A vicious triangle.
I'm not
I don't
fighting
think
with
this
you
video's
anymore.
not gonna be uploaded on your other channel because I don't want to hear myself talking, and it's just the self pity. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it back.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear myself.
Me too.
Pitying myself.
Yeah.
I pity the fool that doesn't want to hear himself pitying himself, especially
Come
after
on,
him.
Michael.
What, you want me to do? You want
Words and then extracting words and then finding meanings from extracting certain words and then pronouncing certain words in a pronouncing words in a different way, and then the numbers, numerology, and then like you sound like like how did you not kill that guy? How did you not kill that guy? I mean, you were so possessed.
Well, yeah, it was crazy. Good question. How did I not kill him? I told her I'm not going to kill this guy just because you're fucking wigging out. I said that, right?
And you're, the reverend's like the spook. That you made that, you put the reverend on edge, or you unnerved him a little bit, and then I heard you. There's two ways to view the world. Either the world that the world is supporting you through life, or not supporting you, and then and you can take it as it comes. and then playing songs on the radio, playing songs on the radio, deciphering the lyrics, flipping through channels.
Yeah.
That's what I was hesitant about, I want to finish the screenplay. I don't want to quit.
Well,
but I also
might have caused some problems by producing or having that produced, or just by infecting the world in that fashion. But otherwise, I might.
Just the idea, you telling me about Bitcoin and crypto and the word crypt being in a crypt. And affecting the world, bringing destruction to the world. You're the reason why the world is going to go under into a hell, to Armageddon. You are the main problem.
Well, it's like Atlas holds up the whole world, right? Like Mormons think they become gods of their own planet, right? Like it's a myth of the complete center, as if I'm totally responsible for everything that happens in the world, instead of just being bound to it, right? Like it's one thing to feel bound to the world as in whole and in part and in mass, but it's another thing to feel as if you're responsible for everything rotten in the world, as opposed to saying, no, the world has these symptoms, and the effect is these sensitive people are responding with their words and expressions and activities based on how the world in large and in smaller domains is influencing their life, right? So meaning but
you weren't saying that in that interview. I know you changed. It was a year ago. It was a year ago.
It was a year ago, but at the same time, that trip took on, like, right when I left. Good old Ange here, she called me telling me, "Don't go, you don't want to go." Right? She kind of, before I left the state, this little bubble of weird protection called my home state and city of Salt Lake City. She's kind of this order saying, "Don't do that." And then when I did, and I started going into Reno and stuff, and getting into that mode, and crossing then into San Bernardino, whatever's on the other side of Reno, and then and then making my way into town, and then there's this Russian bag lady that I had a good connection with, but then I was like, got kind of obsessed, and I was obsessive, and so basically I've just been watching the levels of my obsession and trying to, because it's good to be obsessed when you're applying it to a project, but I don't think it's so good to be obsessed when you're applying it to social situations. And yet, it's good to have a certain, there's certain, in one way, everything's fine. In another way,
you didn't set the fire.
No, I didn't set the fire. I mean,
what happened? Why did it burn down?
Well, they had it was a trailer, and they had a wood fireplace on the inside of a trailer. And apparently they were in it when it happened. But it was her husband's way of antagonizing me. Like, we know you did it, right? He was just playing a psych game. He was gaslighting me. So, because he was gaslighting me, because he knows he's a swift cat too, but he's kind of dark with his way about him, and she's not without her darkness too, but I don't know the depth of her. I don't know the depth of her her darkness, or where she is, or what she wants. But all I know is mythically, it was as if the characters were all set up, and that I was being like my character, like I was moving, I was trying to transition into this new character, and then I started. It was nuts. I mean, it was literally nuts, but it was wonderful, because all of a sudden then I am living the myth, right? Then I'm living in a mythic domain instead of in a pragmatic domain. And
more exciting. It makes you feel more comfortable to ease into your mundane death. I'm living my mythic adventure death instead of my naturally mundane kind of boring death.
Well, the thing is I didn't think of my death. I thought of the ramifications. Like I kind of, that's where I moved into contradiction, right? Is the idea that the her will, or the scenario, or even the God scenario asking me to go so far as to kill somebody else, right? That even though that was being shored up, the reality was, the practicality was, even though she got.
Said if God was giving you the impression, don't kill this man, you would have killed him.
No, I wasn't just working in opposition. I was just working in the idea, like, and I even said, look, if she actually gave me any pragmatic, I brought in the pragmatic into the mythic universe, right? Because I didn't want to get caught up in the mythos of doing it, because I thought, yeah, 5 to 20 is not a good idea for my future. I really, as far as living on the planet, I've had enough downtime from the nursing home. I don't think that I'm going to kill anyone unless there's actionable reason. And I thought, well, maybe he's psychically got her bound. And I thought that if he's spiritually and psychically got her bounded.
Yeah, you mentioned that just by ignoring the transgression, that in some way you were spiritually being cuffed.
Yeah. Well, in one way, it was a fact. Like spiritually, I felt that. But this is when I brought in the pragmatic. The pragmatic was that, and the second night that I was there, I said, look, and I said it loud enough for her to hear. I said, hey, if she even made one indication with her body that she wanted to leave this place and not have you here, like in this place, I would fucking go to war with you right now. If she even made that movement, like I would do this, right? Like I offered myself up, but she showed zero indicators. And what I did remember from my past, which helped me in that segment, even though I did feel exactly how I did feel that, right? Cucked, was also that this one woman once, she we were hanging out and we were getting along, and I kind of wanted to move on her, like, and she said, look, you don't want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. She says, she says, the reason you don't want to do that is because, she says, I have given you no indication thus far, that would be okay. Meaning she was saying all of that was happening as far as my will or desire was in my head, right? It was something, whether it was bounded to some spiritual or mythical domain, and some sort of took on a locking there. That's one thing, but she kind of brought it to, hey, look, if I wanted you to do that, I would have given you a physical symbol. Know what I mean? Yeah. So and that's what I was giving her an option to do. Like, look, if you need this, give me a physical symbol, right? And the only symbol that she gave me was one that I read into. It was merely a look, a glance. Both her and her dog gave it to me, right? But then I realized that was the form of my interpreting. So even if I felt as if I could reduce the whole universe to just myself in a oneness, all the arrows pointing inward, there's still fragments of arrows that can point outward at crucial times. And good thing, otherwise I might be in a psych ward for 5 to 20, or I might have, lost an eye, or he, just damages. And the fallout, the future presence would have been a lot different. But then I'd like to sum up: if God doesn't play, dice with the universe, so to speak, he is the totality of all things, so to speak. If I go that route, remove my free choice. But sounds like you got something going on. Sounds like you got your music going.
Playing guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bit of a bummer.
Thinking about, I worry too much, because my mind automatically goes to stroke. But it's probably just the temperature. I was outside, and this was the hand I was holding the phone against my ear, and so it feels really stiff and cold, and that's probably why it's hard to move my fingers.
Yeah, well, after my last arrest, my tendons in the back of my hand still haven't performed as well as I want them to. I would get arthritis quickly playing the guitar like you are. Another benefit of doing stuff while you're young.
I want to crank the screenplay out. I sometimes I feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis. I feel like my 40s. I feel really it's almost like I seek validation from others. I'm still, I asked my mom, am I still young? Do you think I'm still useful? Do you think still have my life ahead of me?
Yeah, and what does she say to that? Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, she does. And, and you even told me that you even think 30 is young. But then you tell me, well, 27, you're getting out of your youthfulness.
Well, this 86-year-old guy told me in Lake Havasu, he was, man, you're still young, buddy. Look at you. You're 40s. Wow, that's young. No, I mean, it's relative to something. I mean, some people think, oh, we're so fleeting through time, and it doesn't, it goes by so quickly, and you weren't worried about being 12 when you were 16. You weren't all like, oh man, now I'm 16 instead of 12. I mean, I thought that, right? So maybe you did think that, but it wasn't like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, I want to be 12 again.
No, I remember being really nostalgic, in elementary school, really nostalgic, middle school, everything. And right now, I become really, I don't know if it's a nostalgia or just but I would obsess over, I would reflect on the past to the point where it's like I'm wasting the present time. I'm wasting the present because I reflect on not just the distant past, but just on the near, the things that have occurred within the last few weeks to a month. What kind of mind state was I in a few weeks ago, or what I was doing a few months ago, where it kind of could become distracting.
Yeah, no, I know roughly what you're thinking, but and at some point though, it's like you realize that the loop isn't going to happen again. You're not actually going to live in Groundhog's Day and get to rework any of your time. But there's going to be echoes of things that seem self-patterned and nostalgic, I think. So I don't know, I don't know. But I know what you mean as far as looking back and being, like, boy, I wish I could take that 3 months ago back. And I tell you now, looking back on that trip to California, I'm really, it was upsetting for a while, but I was like, someone caught me in a vulnerable state when I came back to Utah, and I was selling some of my best pieces for like $100 or something, as they had convinced me, like, hey, there's nothing here, right? It's all just ghosts. You're just in, you're Jack Nicholson in The Shining, and it's all just, there's no one here. There is no house. There is no ghost. You're just going mad in your head. So, and other people are like, well, at least you believe in your, like the thing is believe in the physical ghosts, like believe in them, believe that the word social actually means something, and that where you're not just a solipsist that's, masturbating with your universe in some sort of, thing, and yet behave as if you're the most important self-centered creature in the planet, right? It's not a bad thing to behave that way, but believe otherwise. But then other people think it's just the reverse. No, you never want to behave that way, even if you believe otherwise. Something like that. Something like that.
Well, where are you right now?
Oh, I approach the world as if there's other people in it, and they're not just, spirit dust, or that they're not just evaporating out of the universe. So I'm more grounded right now. Oh. But
Is it what is more difficult to traverse and navigate through?
Well, right now it's actually painting. It's structure. It's getting back into art. Like because I'm doing a showing of the art thing here soon, and I think the most difficult thing to traverse for me now is my socialization. Like I'm good in the moment of socializing. I'm bad as far as furthering up socialization. And there's plenty of reasons why that's the case, but I'm saddened by it. Meaning, um, but I don't know. I like end up retooling horse shit sometimes. Adding fuel to the fire when I don't need to sometimes. Yeah, and I keep thinking, if I add fuel to a fire, then if somebody can leap towards the fire like a tiger in a circus, then somehow that's a real gem. So maybe I'm testing people without knowing I'm testing them.
In what way?
Well, I was just explaining to this woman that I linked my book on Amazon to, after we had met, and I think that put her off. But even if it didn't put her off, the mere fact that I linked it to her when she declined to go on a date, I was able to utilize my presenting that to her as the reason, as opposed to suffering the idea that she didn't want to for personal reasons. Like there was like that the actual engagement somehow left a bad taste with her. Something like that. So, doubling up for the viewing audience, doubling up. You get the simulacra and the duplication. You embed the duplication, and then you can pull it apart either way and remain without knowledge of the case. Complicating something. Oh, sweet mother of pearl. Oh, and by the way, I think I'll stop this recording now. As fun as it's been, it is time. It is time. It is time. Wink. Over and out. Peace. 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 Oh, wait. Maybe no peace. No peace till Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn.
My battery popped out.
Oh, well, right on. Oh, man. I'm the same kid I was when I was 7 years old. All right, fine. Here we go. This time I'm serious. This time I'm ending it. Peace. Hey, look at those palms. See that? See that? See that X there? The criminal's cross? For all you palmists.